we cannot afford not to fix the power sector. So we're investing there. If you want to invest in power sector, come with us.
I spoke to some religious leaders about the here and now and the hereafter.
Whenever, as a Catholic bishop, I hear gospel of prosperity, I ask myself, I don't know what Bible those who preach the gospel of prosperity are reading. It's not the same Bible that I am reading. The center of the Christian religion is not prosperity. It is clearly so. There's no better proof of it than the life of Jesus. He lived a poor life. He lived as a very simple carpenter in a small village and ended up his life hung on a cross as a criminal. If Jesus is our model, then that is what we have to follow. People should be made to know that being a Christian means being able to live your life in prosperity as well as in adversity, in joy and in sadness, with deep faith in the Lord Jesus who guides you. That is the gospel that I preach.
If there was one important message from the Bible that you'd like to share with the world, one, what would it be?
Giving. That when we stand before God, it will be based on our acts of generosity. So what I would tell anybody is generosity, and make sure you invest into the relationships that are yours.
Apart from issues spiritual, we also talked about temporal matters, especially governance in a recession and how political leaders can bring about the change we seek. Are there states that are not viable? And what should we be doing about them?
The issue of viability in terms of state is relative. I think it all has to do with priorities of a particular state. I don't believe there is a state that is not viable. For my state, my critical needs have to do with infrastructure and social transformation. And if I could put the states in row, so the local governments in row, one after the other, to be doing this, I believe we'll be able to sustain the tempo of development, and we won't have any problem. So I think it's the priority. What does the state need? What are your earnings? How can you meet those things? If you cannot meet them at a go, then you can stagger them one after the other, and I'm sure it will work.
As you just acknowledged, the biggest albatross around the neck of states is the wage bill. So why are the states so afraid of taking the tough decisions on this?
In the final analysis, governance is about the people. Honestly. Because look at this place. I can talk. Look at this place. I believe that we are too many. This is now people should work smart. Yes, you are working hard. You are getting maybe 50 people to do a job that you know that quickly, truly, maybe 5 people will do it. But because of the way we are, which avenues, which other opportunities have we created for them? If you pass through the Ogun State corridors and streets, you see people still sweeping. You know why? Because if we now said, okay, we have all these equipments, street sweeper, they should be doing it, then our people will not have anything to do. It's as bad as that. And what do? We get it, okay, those people in your house, we should not travel more than maybe maximum 500 meters, 1 kilometer, begin to clean your frontage. At the end of the month, let's give you 10,000. Just to keep them going. Because all our industries are in comatose, factories are moribund, nothing is happening. People are looking for quick money. So for me, 2 things. A system that will sit somewhere and say minimum wage is this. No, it's never like that.
APC, your party, talks about change. Is change a destination?
It's a process. And it's happening because even the realization that we can do things differently, we can participate in markets that before we think, no, we are not even, and we do not have the capability to, by realizing that we can come together and deal with even the biggest challenges that have threatened us as a nation, Today, Nigeria is more peaceful, courtesy of the government that was graciously elected in 2015 under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. The economic recession we are facing will have been worse if not for the change. And most importantly, we are taking proper steps. I'm here in Lagos today. Maybe this is my 6th or 7th visit in fostering better relationship and in the belief that we can do things for ourselves, which is that who has eluded us. Most people will just say, okay, let us go shopping for foreign investors all the time. But here we are thinking that, oh, we can, and we are doing things together, and it's working. And today, agricultural production is rising. People are looking at opportunities in the solid mineral sector, in other sectors of the national life, because it starts with, the change starts with us believing in ourselves, and that's being restored.
In Nigeria's traditional rulers, we often have spiritual and temporal authorities rolled into one, and I was privileged to spend time with some of our royal fathers in 2016. What more should we be doing to promote interfaith harmony?
The constitution, as you know, we have now, Nigeria is not a religious entity. There are many religions in Nigeria. It's a multi-religious country. That one is good. That aspect is good. So there's no bias for or against either of the Christians or the Muslims. And then in the case of Western region, you can see in the Western region, every family, they are both Muslims and Christians. They can never fight.
But by the way, Your Highness, do you really believe that the crisis in Nigeria is religious? And is Nigeria as polarized along religious lines as some people try to make us believe?
The whole thing started from starting administration, where they insisted that when one is a Muslim and is the leader, the deputy must be a Christian. Before that time, we didn't have that kind of problem.
What does power mean to you?
Power to me is service. I'll give you a typical example. You've seen my day. It's always been like that from morning till night. Be attending to people from morning till like 10, 11 o'clock. And I don't like to say no to people. I want to hear the problem. So I usually tell all my aides, please don't send anybody away. Talk to them. Give them appointments. Encourage them. Don't push people away. Not that we don't have bad ones too, that are up to some sinister moves. But do your best. Leave the rest to God. So my point is, to me, I am serving people.